Blessings and welcome back to MMA Jammin with the Muay Thai. And I'm here today with special guest, amateur lightweight champion from RFL, Shiaeine Blake.
Big up, big up.
You're amateur lightweight champion with RFL. Used to do Taekwondo once
I used to do Taekwondo. Throughout high school, I did Taekwondo. It was the first martial art I got involved in. And that was mainly because I couldn't find any Muay Thai schools, to be honest. Because
it surprises me because you're a good fighter. I joke.
We're not going to do that. We got my Taekwondo friends. You know, we'll get it when it comes to training. No, we'll sidekick him because sidekicks don't work. We'll sidekick my training. Okay? But yeah, like, you grew up watching the Dragon Balls, you tried to go Super Saiyan a few times. You know, you want to fight. Yeah. And the first, let's say, live fighting I really saw was WWE. And unfortunately, I thought it was real. I thought it was real. Like, when I found out and had solid proof it was fake.
What do you mean? It's not real?
It's not real, bro. That was my first heartbreak, bro. Like, that broke me.
Did you know this?
That tore me apart. I mean, I still love John Cena, The Rock, but the hits weren't real. Like,
yeah.
You know, it still kind of tears me up, but I have to move past. And then you watch movies, you see Jackie Chan, you know your kung fu, but then what really brought my eye into the fighting world was Angbak, Tony Jaa. Yeah. So the Muay Thai was just like, yo, I need to find a Muay Thai school, and I couldn't find any strictly Muay Thai school out there. Granted, my search wasn't vast and wide. So if there are Muay Thai schools out there, please let me know, because I'd love to come by.
We know this by now.
But Taekwondo was offered at Ulmas, free of cost. So I went there, I said to the guys, I get to hit people for free. Yo, why not? I wasn't the most interested in rising through the ranks, going through the belt system. I was like, yo, when's tournament, when can I fight? Okay, I need to train for how long? Alright, that's my motivation to train. I don't think that's a bad thing. Because some people like the belt system, some people want to be the black belts, and that's fine. Whatever motivates you to continue along that path is fine. If it's hurting people legally, that's fine in a sense as well, you know.
I guess that's fine.
Not the most advisable route.
I guess that's fine. But
so yeah, and finishing Taekwondo now, I got more exposed to mixed martial arts via Radcliffe and Iron Lotus. Cool. So I went up there a few times. First trial class, Matthew paired me up with Simon. Leave me out there in the water, because I guess when you go to the trial class, you're expected to know a bit, you know. So granted, the punches and kicks that he told us to throw, I could throw, but when Simon was sitting back, I was just like, okay, this kind of hurts. I never feel these before, so that always stuck in my mind that, yo, I basically got beat up that day. Like, Jamaica is a wide place, because I was winning a lot in Taekwondo, and it wasn't only fighting. Like, I've been criticized a lot about spreading myself too thin, because there's school going on, of course. There's me fighting, I'm playing hockey for Ulmas, I'm playing hockey for the national team. And everybody was always saying, yo, you need to pick one. And I'm like, why? Why I can't do all of them? I'm doing all of them right now. Granted, it cost me some hours of sleep, but this is making me happy. Why should I subtract from my happiness? And to this day, I'm still doing all of them at the highest capacity I'm available to. So anybody out there that, I'm not saying you should spread yourself too thin, guys. Focus on things. But granted, there are other aspects of my life that are left by the wayside to pursue those things. So if you have things that make you happy, don't disregard them. Don't throw them away.
Yeah, great advice. And the thing is, I mean, it really is about time management at the end of the day. You look at all of the most successful people in the world. Look at The Rock, bro. How much things do you think The Rock doing one time?
To be honest,
management?
I think Rock has more hours in his day than us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. At least 7 to 8 more hours,
a few more hours
than everybody is. Yo, you ever seen Mark Wahlberg's schedule?
Bro.
That changed my life.
And the man is on like
there's no Netflix in the man's schedule, I think. Actually, there might be, though, because he might have duplicate 2 hours for time with him kids or whatever.
Or some cartoons with them.
It's very interesting how you can structure your life and get the things you need done. I kind of have a problem with that myself, where I need to structure better to get more things done. But I've been balancing 2 careers now for a while, so it's
working. And funny enough,
it's possible.
Like when I have free time, it feels like a curse. Like why I have free time? I need to be doing something right now. I don't feel like myself when I have that free time.
I wish I had that mentality.
And like,
when I have free time, I'm like Netflix.
And like even when your coach advises to rest, it sometimes feels like punishment.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I remember when I used to feel that way.
But rest is also part of training.
Yeah. Rest is a big
young.
part. Recovery is a big part of our training, and you can get more. You can get better quality training done when your body has recovered and is feeling fresh.
It's not overtraining; it's underresting. So make sure you rest properly. Make sure you get your nutrients in, and you can train as much as your body will allow you at a high capacity.
True that. So you did hockey at under 19. Sorry, you played national hockey.
Mm-hmm.
After the hockey, but you were telling me that you ended up playing hockey by mistake.
Yeah, hockey was a mistake. I remember first form at Wolmer's. Like in a devotion, they usually talk about the clubs. This line for that club over here, this line over there. So I mean, I like acting. Cool. I still role play in front of my mirror sometimes. Say out famous movie lines, so on and so forth. So they had that acting club that we were starting, and they told us that the line was over to the right from where I was standing. But when I went to that line and I reached the top, I realized it was line for the hockey team. I was like, alright, it's class time, I'm here, might as well sign my name up. But it's almost like I had a natural aptitude for the sport, being that I could follow instructions easily. Like my body listens to me. You see, go in this position, touch that.
Naturally athletic.
Yeah. So that propelled me to be pretty good at hockey. Like the coach saw it right away. I wasn't given special treatment, at least in my opinion. Other people might think so. But I was always there. I was always the first to training, the last to leave. And it wasn't like I became the best in the school, but I wasn't the best in the island per se. Right. So there was still always something to work towards. And the system was set up where it could move from just a high school level to competing on a junior, regional level, and then all the way to the senior team. I've actually been to Mexico because of hockey, and I've been to Colombia because of hockey. And I've had to learn Spanish, a little Spanish because of that. Never did it in school, but I had to, get my Espanol a bit up there, because, I want to talk some Spanish girls,
Don't know.
Cubans and stuff.
So you're now training for national boxing,
and the
national boxing champs. But boxing is the main focus now, and you've seen, what's the big difference in the training for you?
Alright.
For MMA and boxing.
For boxing, my shoulders are tired. But the boxers have helped me to understand where there are certain holes in, for instance, a stance. Because boxing areas you can hit is a bit more limited. So I've now had to close up my stance a bit more and cover those openings a lot better. I've gotten a lot better at seeing punches come in and setting up punches. I'm working with Mufasa a lot. He basically bullies me into learning, which is probably how I learn best. But that's one of the main things. Like, my footwork isn't bad, my coordination, so on, isn't bad, but it's really closing up and covering up those holes, seeing punches coming. That had to improve significantly for boxing, because whenever I boxed with him, he was like, you're open, pop, and he's not missing.
But it's interesting, because if you close up in that way when you're doing MMA, you're going to get taken down, you're going to get leg kicked. So it is different, and I've always wanted people to understand that boxing for MMA and boxing just regular boxing, two different things. It's two different things. There's more things to worry about with MMA. There's more things to consider. Even kickboxing versus boxing, it's very different. But you're training with Mufasa. I see you're doing your strength and conditioning. How was the strength and conditioning training differed?
Alright, so before this, my strength and conditioning, it was really me. I don't want to say having fun in the gym, but lifting how I wanted to lift in the gym. But right now, all my strength and conditioning, every single movement I do has some carryover into my art. That's why I look a bit smaller right now, even though I'm the same weight. But every single movement carries over to either a punch, some footwork drill, or generating power in some capacity.
Well, it sounds like that's how you should have been training the whole time.
Bro, like...
Because that's, I mean,
I wasn't losing, so I could. Some of it was carrying over, but I like the aesthetics as well. GSP
Right,
did it. GSP
sure.
live for aesthetics sometime. I like looking nice, you know.
Right. So, where are you from originally?
I was actually born in Kingston, but spent early years in St. Catherine.
See.
Yeah, so I moved to St. Catherine with my mom when finishing primary school. And it was traveling from St. Catherine to Kingston every day. So discipline had to be involved there with waking up early, getting the bus to come all the way down, making it back over in the night. That was, right now I still can't wake up after sunrise now. I don't know how you would do it. Then again, as I say, you're old. So, so certain discipline was implemented there. And there were points where I basically, my house would be repainted and I didn't know because I was leaving out early morning, coming back in the night, even on the weekends because hockey training for national team was on the weekends. So I remember like one Saturday I had no training and I go outside, I'm like, yo, like this isn't the house. Mom's like, yeah, I'm just like, no, the color changed. She's like, yeah, we painted it a week ago. I'm like, a week ago? Alright, I need to stay home some more.
But you've always kind of juggled things, eh?
Yeah.
Like you were saying. Are you still at UWI now? Are you finishing?
Yeah, I'm finishing UWI now. I was going part-time, again, spreading myself kind of thin, managing everything. But that was the way I managed to make everything work. I'm studying marine biology, which is funny because from the age of 10, I knew what I wanted to do.
See.
I wanted to be like Goku and I wanted to swim with the sharks. Cool? So I wanted to fight and do marine biology.
Alright.
So I've always known what I wanted to do.
Nice. So you're studying to be a marine biologist. You also train. You basically are the head of your camp. You coach. You have a set of guys that you coach, guys and girls.
Yeah.
That you're coaching. So tell us more about that.
Alright, really the coaching now. Once again, time management comes into play because how can I work on myself and the guys at the same time? So I have to structure my sessions a little bit different from theirs. So a bunch of people change with us, whether it is for fighting, whether it is for weight loss, simple self-defense. So people find their different reasons, different purposes. That's pretty good. But everybody has been consistent from the get-go. Like the people with me now, majority of them have been there from the beginning. You know, people aren't coming and going, and I guess it's because of that family aspect that's at the gym. It's not just when we're at training.
What's the name of the gym?
Ruthless Combat Sports, a subsidiary of Jamaica Combat Sports. We're at 1 Dennis Avenue, off Mullines Road. It's kind of far, but it's worth it. Cool? It's worth it.
No, it's a nice space. I mean, showing a couple clips now. I come down here and train with you guys, and I enjoy the fact that you have this camp and that you're. How old are you?
I'm 25.
25 years old. You're studying. You're training people. You're competing in both MMA and boxing. It's very impressive that you're handling all of these things and doing all these things at the same time. And I hope to have your sister on because she is also competing. She's told me that she wants to do this professionally. This is something that she wants to follow up.
She's also involved in dancing, the performing arts as well.
Wicked. And I know you're trying to do some acting as well on the side. You know,
Yeah,
acting career is budding.
Things will be out soon, you
yeah,
know.
we don't know. I work on some things. But yeah, it's all very. It's nice to see that you're able to manage all these things and put it together. How long do you think you'll fight for?
That's the thing. Like the definite cutoff age is 40, right? That's an age that fighters really think about. They don't want
for sure at 40.
You don't really want to be in the cage fighting with the younger, hungrier guys after that point. But it's a really hard thing to think about because you don't want to say you'll stop fighting when you stop loving it because you don't want to stop loving it.
Right.
And you also don't want to stop as soon as you start losing because then that's not the mentality of a fighter per se. Like fighters rise back, it's constantly a fight. So to be honest, I'll stop fighting competitively when I can no longer keep up with the demands of the sport.
Fair enough.
So like I still train, I'll still help out the guys, I'll still help the guys prepare. But like if I can't keep up and perform at that high level, then I don't want to be in that capacity getting my ass beat. I don't want that.
MMA or marine biology, if you had to choose?
You know, people always come with that question, and once again, as I've always said, I'm not choosing.
Well, in real life, because here's the thing, when it comes to marine biology, I would imagine you're gonna need to be near the sea.
Yeah.
Ain't no sea near here.
I mean, Jamaica small, but
Yeah, but
the funny thing is that as
you
well.
have Muga Mobe.
No, there's actually Port Royal Marine Lab is pretty close
Okay.
enough that we can work at. But the good thing with MMA and marine biology is not as MMA is a sport where I'm competing every weekend.
True.
Cool. So that offers a bit more time for marine biology.
But it's a
So-
sport where you're always training.
That's why I'm always training.
So it's more about your training facilities and where you're gonna train.
And I mean, if I think about it now as well, my marine biology time would basically become what's in my school and studying time. So marine
Fair.
biology will now replace school, and there will be challenges. I'll have to work out the finer details of everything, but I'm committed to making both work. Cool, and I'm also not going to neglect hockey. Hockey might be a little bit lower on
You
the
still
love.
play hockey?
I still play hockey.
Mirror.
So it might be a bit lower on the love totem pole,
Right.
but it's not something I'm going to abandon. Like, you need a hobby outside of almost drowning and getting your face punched up. Like, hockey provides me that safety.
That's how many hours a night do you sleep?
I probably staying asleep, but on average I try to get at least 6 hours per night. That makes me function, and
And then you get a nap.
I take a nap throughout the day. Like, I take a nap before training, so that keeps me going. I don't get burnout easily. But what's funny is that if I'm not training, I can't stay asleep. Like, I sleep in 2-hour periods. So it's almost like I need that in my system. I need that workload to be done during the day for me to sleep.
Yeah, it's just helping your body function in a better way. Yeah, fair enough. So when you're thinking about this the nationals coming up, what are your main apprehensions?
The main worry is...
First of all, where and when for nationals?
Nationals isn't booked yet, and that's the thing. But we know it
Do we
has to
have a
be
month?
sometimes, because it was January. The last one is held in January,
Right.
and January is coming up upon us now. We know training camps will last 6 to 12 weeks. Cool. So we're already within that time frame to be preparing. Going forward, it's not much fears. Like, there's no doubt within myself. There's no doubt within the people I train with. It's more so getting a bit used to boxing strikers, and because they're more disciplined in their striking art than, let's say, the MMA guys. Cool. So it's getting used to that fine tuning of that martial art, that's the sweet science, and working my way in that. Like, I think I have an advantage where footwork will come in. Like, I think at least MMA footwork has been a bit more dynamic. Motion is a bit more dynamic, but boxing, smaller angles are tighter. I've noticed either from the local boxers, which unfortunately is a criticism coming from my end. Like, they have good punches, have good combos, but the feet are sometimes, the footwork is almost non-existent. So I think that will be one of my main advantages against the guys I'm going to be competing
I mean, you're coming
against.
from a Taekwondo background as well,
Yeah.
where there is a lot of mobility, there's a lot of moving around.
So I think my mobility is my biggest strong suit going into nationals.
What do you think about, because I know, this whole idea of nationals kind of spark from your involvement with Rude Boy Boxing?
To be honest, no. I went to a few of their events, but the boxing nationals is really building my accolades for further championships. Like, I want to go boxing nationals, I want to go regionals. If there's a fight out there and I can get to, I want it. Cool, I want that experience. Experience is valuable, especially in these times. So I want that experience. I want those credentials. And when you see my resume, you're like, yo, this
Brilliant.
guy's no joke.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
that's really the plan.
And we've seen that where MMA fighters that have a specialized background have accolades in some kind of specialty, either it be BJJ, judo, karate, whatever it is. If you're a champion somewhere in some specialty,
That carries over in some regard.
yeah, it helps with how they talk about you. It helps with how they market you. And so yeah, if you get your, just like how them always talk about Golden Gloves champion, this person was a Golden Gloves champion, this person was 10-15 time boxing champion. So it matters. It matters if you can say that I was
Building
national
my resume.
champion. Yeah.
Builds the resume.
Big things, big things. Well, bro, good luck with that. I mean, I think it's very important that you do pursue different avenues of getting your popularity, getting your name, building the strength behind your name. So it's good to see that you're doing that, and it's good to see that you have somehow managed to fit more hours into your day, so to speak.
Big up the rock.
Big up the rock, because that's something that we're all trying to do. We're all trying to get more done.
Yeah, and I mean, I
in less
can't
time.
neglect like the people who have been there coming up with me, like the training partners, support from family and friends. Caribbean Dreams was there with me from basically the inception of this thing, working with me, helping me to get certain things done, you know, because sometimes they need that outside help. And there has been nobody who has advised me against this thing, to be honest. Everybody's always been in support of me going forward. I'm really appreciative of that, to be honest.
Straight. I want to present you, bam, 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 with this is hemp protein powder from Itopia Life hemp protein powder. So you don't know.
Yeah, I'm getting back big again, guys. You want the stuff, like, you know, that's the...
Get your 10% discount with discount code Be Mighty at Itopia Life on all Itopia Life products.
Yes.
So you don't know.
Oh, and big up Itopia.
So follow the journey. We're gonna support. It's what's the Instagram?
S_Blake_DG. The DG stands for the great. Don't forget that.
See, so you don't know the great Shiaeine Blake. Follow the journey. We're gonna see how far he goes. I think he has a lot of potential, and I think he's definitely going to be one of the people who make us proud in the future with this sport. And we're trying to develop the sport. We're trying to build it. We're trying to move forward. I love to see that you're trying to build your whole community with the situation in terms of the mixed martial arts community. I want to see what happens with the national. I want to be there, so make sure you let me know. I want to be there. Everything. I would compete. My wife said she don't want me to compete.
I've listened to the wife sometimes.
Yeah, I've listened to the wife sometimes, so you don't know. But you don't know, and we're gonna be back on the same card soon, hopefully with RFL. Next year, 2021, we see what's happening. So you don't know.
Yeah, hopefully everything gets sorted out and we can. We know you miss us. We know you guys miss us. We'll be fighting again soon.
Welcome in. So you don't know. As always, just do your thing and be mighty.